Hello and welcome to the Eurovision Division podcast, a podcast where we talk about all 40 songs in this year's Eurovision Song Contest before this year's Eurovision Song Contest. As always, I'm your host Jeroen, and I've listened to all of these songs multiple times before.
And I'm his sexy girlfriend, and I've been listening to all of these songs for the very first time.
Ooh la la la.
My name is Mira, by the way. Hi.
We were really, I should say I, was really struggling on that intro there for a moment. I somehow had completely forgotten what I say at the start of an episode. It just was gone. But I think that's what I usually say. I usually introduce us to the concept of the podcast, which is that we listen to a couple of songs and talk about them.
Yeah. You may notice that we're a little more low energy than usual.
Is that right?
Your
low energy?
Your voice is a little crackly.
It's true.
And I'm having a terrible endorphin come down.
Which makes it the perfect time to record an episode, I would say.
Absolute perfect time to record an episode. But this is because we went to see three concerts in the past 7 days.
Yeah.
The first one you already heard about, that was Sparks. This Monday, we went to see Mahmoud.
Uh-huh.
And
wonderful.
Yesterday, Thursday, we went to see Dathi Frere.
Yes.
Both at the same venue. So it was a lot of wooing and a lot of dancing.
For sure. And it, we, you can tell by my voice.
Oh my God.
That I really did, use it during the concert.
Dathi Frere was so good, though.
Dathi Frere was so funny.
He was so funny.
What a delightful concert of just, like, absolute silliness.
Yeah, I loved it.
That's a show where I'm like, okay, well, I'll see another show and that won't be the same.
Exactly.
Might play the same songs, but it's like, no, this was our experience. That's very fun when you go to a concert and it's like, this is just an experience for the people on stage and the 1,800 people in the crowd.
He did keep repeating that it was 1,800 people, and it seemed like he was
very impressed by that, or like thought it was a really big crowd. And I thought, surely this isn't the biggest crowd you've ever played for. First of all, you've been at Eurovision. Well, you weren't.
He didn't.
You didn't play in front of the Eurovision crowd. So you're right. Maybe you were the biggest crowd he's ever played for. Not that big.
Belgium is like a live music loving country, though.
Yes, that's right. If you get an audience, they will enjoy it. And I mean, the audience was there for it.
It was such a fun audience,
absolutely.
Too. Apparently for the first time ever, he did the thing of like, people on the balcony cheer, people on the other balcony cheer, people on this side of the crowd cheer, then people on this side of the crowd cheer. And he was having so much fun with that because it was the first time he ever did it. And he said like, oh, everyone who is like touching the technician's booth, you guys cheer.
Or you cheer. Just like a small cheer rising up from the back of the... Yeah, brilliant.
It was really good. He asked us to do a big applause for his tour bus driver who was there.
Shout out to Bob.
Shout out to Bob. We love you, Bob. It was just such a good vibe, such a fun concert.
Yeah, so much fun.
So I've been having a lot of fun this past week and have been very busy at work for the weeks before that.
Mm-hmm.
So my brain this morning decided to stop producing any of the chemicals that makes me a happy and functioning person.
You ran out of the good stuff.
I ran out of the good stuff and I fell into a deep depression. Because my day started with my boss being like, hey, you made this small mistake.
And what, you thought, oh, I'm getting fired?
No, I thought, oh, I should kill myself.
Oh, okay, that's worse.
But I was also like, Jesus, does this deserve a call out? Just tell me, hey, go fix that, and I will. Yeah, she really goes, this really makes me worried. I'm like, God, I got a name wrong on a label. I'll make a new label. I just got the names mixed up. I know.
You know, people make mistakes. People do make mistakes, and it's a matter of not going, I'm worried that you made a mistake, but being like, You made a mistake. Good that I spotted it.
Then, of course, my brain goes, why do I keep making stupid mistakes? Why am I so worthless? Should I even work a job? Shouldn't I just be, like, on the streets because that's all I'm good for? And then I was like, oh, okay. My brain is being bad today. Hey, brain, could you lighten up a little?
Your brain was being mean to you.
My brain was being mean to me, as it often is recently.
Well, I mean, you just said it. Luckily, we do have a theme, because these songs are divided into little themes. Just silly little themes. And this one is, kids, could you lighten up a little?
So, yeah, I want to listen to some sad songs.
That is certainly one way to describe these songs that I have here for you today. I think we are going to start it off with Poland. And Poland's representative is we're starting it off with a very let's say metaphorical representation of that depression, you know. This one is called River.
Oh, wow.
You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, just take me to the river, drop me in the water.
Hell yeah, love Talking Heads.
So that's a cover.
What?
That's not an original Talking Heads song.
Wait, who's it by?
It's by...
Oh, shit.
It was very popular as a Talking Heads song.
That's what I was thinking of.
It's Leon Bridges.
This isn't going in, because I made a mistake, and I won't show my own mistakes in this podcast. I can edit them out.
No, we have to talk about how it's okay to make mistakes, and people make mistakes all the time, and that doesn't make them stupid and worthless, and that doesn't put them at risk.
Not me, I never make mistakes. You will never hear my mistakes.
No.
Let's take it on down to the river. This is Christian Ochman, or Ochman, just for short, I guess, for Poland with River.
Bury all of my things, bury me in my skin. All that I've done, oh Lord, I'm done. Who'd want to be king, pulling too many strings. All that I've done, oh Lord, I'm done. Carry me away, I'll float away.
Mountains crumble, rivers run dry, and boys do cry.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, didn't we already see a White Mansion sad song?
But, I mean, this is different.
I know, like...
This one's built different.
I think that we can call this a new genre. White Mansion sad song. Because wasn't...
Oh, okay, like that.
John Stew's 2020 entry also a White Mansion sad song?
White Man Mansion?
White Mansion.
He was sad. I don't know if it was a mansion. I feel like it was just...
white, though.
It was black and white. It was a white mansion.
Yeah,
Sorry, I thought you were talking about how he's white.
No, also that, but mostly the house that he's in. It's like fancy house, white walls,
Yeah.
sad song.
You gotta use those mansions. No one's living in them. No one can afford it.
I think we can call that a new genre. Akin to Dressed in Black Screaming.
Okay.
Which this leans against.
He's dressed in black.
He's dressed in black, he's wailing. He's not screaming.
Yes. I think wailing is the right word. And not necessarily, like, parentheses derogatory. I think...
No!
Wailing is just accurate. Because it's about crying, it's about wailing, it's about being really sad and taking your body down to the river.
And letting the river carry you away and just stopping and just not doing it anymore. Lay down my head forever for just a long, long nap.
I'm just gonna go...
I feel that.
I'm just gonna go sleep in the river, he says.
Okay, Ophelia. This does cheer me up a little bit.
Oh,
because
interesting.
This does cheer me up a little bit because it really makes me feel like, oh, being sad isn't that serious.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Being sad is kind of cringe, so I'm just not gonna be sad. That being said, this song is good.
Yes, but is that what it was trying to do? Is your question? The earnestness of this doesn't fully work at face value, right?
No, it's the wallowing.
There is that moment when it suddenly goes to the bridge and he's like suddenly all wet crying, where you're just like, have you just come out of the river that you're this wet, or is this all tear?
But he's not all wet. His
just a face?
It looks like it's been spritzed with, like, a misting
Yeah, but, like,
bottle.
I don't know. To me, it's like, that's a more realistic I've been crying face than I've seen in many...
for sure.
Like, you're just all wet all over, and...
Yeah, because if you've been crying, then you've been, like, wiping your face, and your tears are
I think
all
it
over.
actually looks great for the, you know, the feeling of, like, of what it's trying to evoke there, is that bridge, which really is, like, wailing and, like, letting that voice do a lot. I really like that bridge. I think that's where the song is at its best of, like, what he's trying to do, showing off his voice. It's good.
This song really works for me in that it is kind of a perfect marriage between a subject that doesn't completely do what it's meant to do and thus is kind of funny, and a song that's genuinely pretty catchy and well performed. So I'm gonna listen to this 10 times.
Yes, but I do have a major complaint, and I don't want to ruin it before you've had your chance to get annoyed by it yourself. But that bridge that I just mentioned is the best part of the song, that leads up to something that never comes. He goes all the way up to something with an oh, and then it just falls back into the exact same chorus as before.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
There's no key change, there's no anything, and I'm like, Poland, don't do me this one again. You did it with Michał Szpak, where we were like, where's the key change? And then he brought it for the last, like, 15 seconds. I remember our first reaction was also like, you could have done the key change earlier, because then the song's just over. And in this case, I'm like, you changed nothing about the chorus, you just went back to it. Every time I listen to it, I'm like, and I'm out. And I'm completely deflated.
Yeah, he's completely deflated.
Yes. Oh, okay.
That's part of the
yes,
song.
let's make it like, that's on purpose.
That's on purpose.
Let's try and, like...
This is my favorite song this year. I think it's genuinely good.
It has the makings of, like, it has potential. You know, and he's got a good voice, obviously.
He's got a very good voice. I want to
much like Sam Ryder at the pre-parties, he's been impressing with, like, just the sheer vocal presence.
I want to see how well he does this on stage.
Mm-hmm.
If he Michał Szpaks it, I'm gonna lose my mind.
So that's the thing. The only thing that I've been hearing a lot about is that, like, you know, the vocals are all there, but the actual emoting sort of stops when the focus goes on the voice very much. Like, he's not, but he hasn't been playing, you know, through a camera lens. I don't know. It's all still, like, a bit of a wild card of, like, where this is going to fall in terms of, like, actually communicating down the lens and actually getting, like, the emotion across to your television audience.
I believe in him.
Yeah, I think it
he'll
could.
do a great job.
Okay. I think it could. I have my issue, but I think also that can be saved live. Because you want to have a chorus, and then you want to have the chorus but a little different, and then you want to have a chorus and it's the biggest. That's how you build a Eurovision song. I know, it's very cliched, but, you know...
It's cliched for a reason.
You like these tropes. You like your stuff. Yeah.
I like what I like, and what I like is a key change.
Mm-hmm.
What I like is Vincent Bueno's Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah! He could have thrown a yeah in there.
No, he couldn't have thrown a cheery little yeah in here. This is a very sincere, very deep song.
Okay, then no.
As deep as the river. Is it deep? There's been debate about that as well.
Oh, it's not that deep. It's just general sadness.
Who'd want to be king pulling too many strings?
Okay, white man.
All that I've done, oh lord, I'm done. I mean, that one is, like, mega relatable.
That's just someone who's kind of sleepy.
All that I've done, oh lord, I'm done.
Me,
like,
after folding 3 shirts.
Just trying to make a writing deadline. I'm like, okay, done it, and now I'm going to bed.
Me after opening my emails at work. Yeah, no, I'm done. Is it 6 yet? This is already very promising.
You best be opening up more than emails. Why not open up some doors and some windows to let in the air? Because Montenegro is asking us to breathe.
Okay.
They are being represented by Vladana. And Montenegro, this has been a while ago, so anyone who's listening who was there for it may have completely forgotten about it. But Montenegro teased their artist this year by tweeting out a baby picture, saying, this is the artist that will be representing us. And we were all like, they're too young to go to Eurovision. You gotta be 16. And then after that, everyone was like, what good does that do us? We didn't know them as a baby.
Just Baby Annette.
Right, yeah. We are actually being represented by Baby Annette.
Wow. You'd think she'd go for France, at least. Because her mom's Andefranu.
It's true, the famous soprano, yeah. Please watch the movie Annette. Please watch the movie Annette.
Please watch
We
it.
can't keep saying this. You've had time. Go watch Annette, or there shall accidentally be spoilers. There already almost were. But no, Vladana is a full-grown woman.
I believe you.
And she is representing Montenegro, bringing us a very important message in her song, Breathe.
The serotonin production is picking up again. It really is. The factory is coming back into gear, my man. That rules.
I hate to say it, but this does it for me.
It really does.
I hate to say it, but this one works for me every time.
Did we have a good Dressed in Black screaming song last year?
Last year,
I feel like it's been ages since I've heard
and I think this is
it.
That's why this is like hitting in a way that not a lot of other things are, where it's just like, oh, this is just going way too hard. You're just doing way too much.
It reminds me very much of...
You absolutely cannot handle this. That is wonderful.
It's so good. It reminds me very much of I Dream of Love, in the way that it also uses a way too loaded word as the crux of its song. Like, he goes, angels of God!
Yeah.
And we were like, whoa! And she goes, they'll die without air! And you're also like, whoa!
They'll die without it. It's unforgivable.
What do you mean it's unforgivable? What's unforgivable?
Well, let's think about it.
Is it people not breathing? Because it feels like there's just
No, listen, the air is what they need.
The air is what they need.
The air is what they need. The air is what they breathe. They'll die without it.
Is this an anti-car song? Because I'm here for it.
Well, no, listen, it actually starts by saying, the battle for the life is bigger than you know. To act so selfishly is unforgivable.
Okay.
The air is what they need. The air is what they breathe. They'll die without it. It's unforgivable.
Okay, so this is an anti-car.
Yes, it's about
anti-emissions.
It's unforgivable any way that you take away air from those who need it. Say by driving a car.
Methane.
Say by giving them COVID.
Oh, COVID, yeah.
Forgot about that one, did you, for a second there?
COVID for a second.
It's just whenever...
We went to concerts.
Yes, but whenever you're like, I'm not sure what this song is about, maybe in the back of your head, you should go, could it be COVID?
It's probably COVID.
And this one, I'm like, what is this about? And then a little light goes on. Just a little light in the distance, like a lighthouse. I hear a foghorn that goes, COVID. I'm like, oh, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's probably that.
Oh, that's so loaded.
Which just makes me go, maybe
this song isn't good.
Maybe do lighten up a little bit. No, this song is good.
No, it is absolutely
I will not have
fantastic.
slander. This does exactly what I'm criticizing River for not doing. Because that first chorus, like, I love listening to this every time. First time I thought, this is the weirdest, this is so much what the fuck is going on. I am not gonna say it's one of this year's best songs, I don't think it is, but it's closer to the top of songs I've listened to multiple times. Like,
yeah.
I've listened to this one more than a lot of other songs. Because I really like the build-up. Like, that first time is just, air is what they need, air is what they breathe, they'll die with... I can't sing.
It's great.
It's just they'll die without it, like very flat. And then that second time it already goes to they'll die without it, just like going so much more emphasis on that word. It builds and it builds and it builds, just making that one line more and more important,
So
harder
funny.
to ignore. It's
the
wonderful.
best. It's so good. Special shout out to her headdress.
Yeah, what's going on there?
It's so cool. I want one.
She's been showing up in some very unique outfit at the pre-parties.
Yes. I want to see them.
Regrettably, her vocal performance hasn't always been great, which in this case seems like a pretty essential part of your package.
I believe in her. She can do it.
I also believe in her. I do think she can do it.
Even if she can't, the most important thing is that she has a good time.
I know. Hope that everyone has a good time.
The most important.
I think so. At Eurovision, where you're just like, well, at least they all just come out and have fun and be themselves.
Yeah, exactly. That's what ended up warming me to Jendrik last year.
Right.
He just had such a good time at Eurovision.
Yeah, I mean,
And I
I
was
thought...
like, I still hate your song, but you're kind of cool for just having fun.
I mean, I genuinely thought, like, I Don't Feel Hate in the way that it was presented on the Eurovision stage was exactly what it was, like, trying to do, what it meant to do. It worked for me. I was like, yeah, that whole staging was stupid and silly, and maybe it could have worked, but it didn't. But it's like, that wasn't a completely, like, pointless shot. I got it. I mean, nothing at Eurovision is ever a completely pointless shot, because we were shocked at all of the 0 points that were, not given out last year.
Yeah.
Because all of those had, like, something going for them. Every song has something going for it. This has a lot going for it for me. I just hope, I hope that she is able to deliver it on the important night.
Top 10.
If, hey, you never know.
Top 10. I'm gonna give my predictions for every song.
From now on, now that you've heard almost all of the songs, now you can start predicting.
Yeah. This is top 10.
We still got slots in this top 10 open for your, you think this is still in there? Okay.
Yeah, I think this will win.
Okay. It would be unforgivable if it didn't.
If this doesn't make it to the final, I'm not watching.
You will be devastated. I would also be devastated, but also I wouldn't be surprised either. It's a lot of that this year where I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised. I would be disappointed, but also, would I? It's just, I'm not sure. It's a very strange year of songs.
It's a weird one, for sure. Next song.
Okay. All right.
We're going through them because I want to do a breakup song at the end.
Okay, well,
So
we've been dealing with some kids who were our songs so far have been pretty dour,
bleak. I would say
bleak. Yeah, we've taken our body down to the river. We've had people dying without air. It's unforgivable. So let's round out the Holy Trinity. We're taking it to Greece. They'll be represented by Amanda Tenfjord. Well, I should say she's credited as Amanda Georgiadis Tenfjord, because Tenfjord, of course, sounds very Norwegian, which she is part Norwegian.
Okay,
Norwegian
fine.
and Greece.
Ooh, good mix.
Yeah, interesting. And her song, Die Together.
Oh my god. Hey, kids.
Could you lighten up?
Could you lighten up?
Well, let's see if she's able to keep it light, or if we're able to keep it light after this one.
It's not old people, right? It's not old people in love, right? It's not two slow dancers, right?
I'm not saying anything.
God damn it.
So yeah, let's give that one a listen. This one is representing Greece. It's Amanda Georgiadis Tenfjord and Die Together.
Oh my god.
Take my heart and rip it out, bring it to the other side. Take my heart and rip it out, oh, take my heart and rip it, 'cause if we die together now, we will always have each other. I won't lose you for another. And if we die together, I will hold you till forever. If we die together now.
unhealthy thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Girl, no. Talk to your friends about what you're thinking, and they'll tell you you're being weird and toxic.
It's some very dramatic, dark thinking that's going on here, where you're like, ooh, that's not quite healthy.
Yeah, and not in, like, a relatable way.
Oh, I think you're wrong.
What?
I think this is, I mean...
I guess it's relatable in the way of, like, this is the way that everyone is kind of scared to think, and it's kind of cathartic to
No, I think that's what I mean, but it's got a very teenage sort of, like, extreme drama feeling of, like, what if we died?
Yeah, but it's because she's an adult, it just sounds like she's gonna do a murder-suicide.
Okay, great.
No, I love that, but yikes, girl.
It's scary. It's
That's
a little
scary.
like, ooh, it's a little like...
Is this a threat?
It's a little intimidating. I agree.
I like the setup. It's like, oh, we're miserable together, so I better murder-suicide us before you leave me.
But yeah, I mean, I've sort of been wondering, like, ooh, exactly what is it saying? And that is one interpretation here.
Hey, like Mika said... That's my interpretation.
Have we mentioned that Mika is hosting Eurovision?
Wait, what? Is he really?
Have I not mentioned that yet?
You waited for me to organically bring up Mika.
We've brought up...
drop that?
No, we've even brought up Mika earlier in the podcast.
Have we?
When I said my interpretation, and you said I love my interpretation by Mika. Like, you made the exact same joke before.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite jokes to make.
Yes, Mika will be one of the 3 presenters at this year's Eurovision.
Holy shit, that makes me so excited. Hey, genuinely,
come all the way back
is he gonna
around.
perform?
Probably.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes! I love Mika!
You don't get a guy who can sing and dance and then have him not perform.
My life in cartoon motion has been having a real renaissance in my mind space recently.
I just didn't bring it up because it would completely sidetrack whatever the hell we were talking about, and it would just become talking about Mika.
Welcome to the Mika podcast, where I talk about how I recently got back into My Life in Cartoon Motion, which is a really good album.
It's pretty good. So Die Together.
Right.
What's your face? What are you thinking? What's your impression there?
I'm not sure if I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if I like it.
Right,
I haven't made my mind. This is weird. I usually immediately have an opinion.
So that's... I mean, are you holding back because you're not sure what I'm going to say?
No, because, sometimes that stops me, but
that's not stopping you right now?
No, it's not stopping me right now, because if you hate it or if you love it, I'm still going to be like, I don't know where I stand.
Let me give you a little tip here. What you got to do here is listen to it over and over and over again, constantly. And, just by the fact that you've done that, it will be your most played song of the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's your favorite?
I guess it is. I guess I've played this one the most. And
I guess I can see that for you.
I didn't expect that. And, now that we're talking about, like, ooh, yeah, the murder-suicide, I'm like, yeah, that's maybe one angle, but I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just thinking about, like, the drama of it. There's, like... It just paints such a vividly dramatic picture to me of, like, things that aren't gonna happen. They aren't gonna die together. Like, that isn't real, but it's just that fucking feeling of, like, how is this gonna end if not in us just both being dead? I like
that idea of, like, I love you so much that I cannot imagine our relationship ending just by us, like, breaking up.
I love you, say that you love me too. That's the only way we'll get out of this hell we've made, is like, we've fucked it up beyond repair, but it's like, let's make that step to fix it somehow. Now we're just gonna die.
Nah,
now we're just gonna die. And it's like
all
it's just
die.
like such an escalation, but it doesn't catch me off guard where it's like they'll die without it, where I'm just like, what the fuck are you even talking about? And this I'm like, yeah, if it just were that like everyone who sees this relationship from the outside is saying, wow, you've had a hell of a year, you've been great. Everyone says like you've got a great relationship, and you know on the inside, no, we don't.
what do we do?
What do we do? Yeah, what do I do about
if
this?
not just die? Yeah, no, like I said, whether you loved it or hated it, I just still really can't make up my mind
No,
on
I
how
get
I
that.
fully feel about this. I think I do have to listen to it again.
I don't
not
think,
now, but like,
I don't think I got it on first listen. I was also like, ooh, this is just a lot of again, more heavy stuff, which is why why it's in this category to begin with.
I do like songs that you have to listen to a lot.
Yes, but
to
but
get them.
Eurovision, one wonders, one listen, and a second one in the final, because I have no doubt in my heart about this one. This is certainly in the grand final.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I find it so interesting, just the way that it starts in that near complete silence, and you can do stuff with that as a visual presentation, where it's just her and her voice and the reverb.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And that just builds to like such a loudness of instruments at the end. Like if you hear the start of the song and the end, it is like you got there in like 3 minutes. It's good build.
Yeah.
And that moment in the last chorus, you'd have to listen to it a couple times. The I can't sing right now, but on the word die,
Yeah.
she plays with the melody a little bit, and there's this part where the instrumentation sounds completely discordant to me for like one like combination of two chords, where I'm like, this didn't work.
Yeah.
Where like the melody shifts and the chords come together, and I'm like, it's wrong.
Right.
But that is my favorite moment in all of the songs this year, because it's just like, it's slightly off to me. And I don't think it is musically off, but to me, I'm like, I love the way that melody shifts, but then the chord right after that just feels a little off. And I don't have the musical knowledge to like understand that or know if I'm right at all. But that is one of my favorite like musical moments. And like a couple of weeks ago, it was raining a lot more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so if late at night, I go out to walk the dog, and like whatever album I'm listening to or whatever podcast I'm listening to runs out, and I have time left before I like walk back home, this would be one of the songs that I just like pop on.
Yeah.
And then when it's raining, you just go, hell yeah. Like,
That's
when I'm
mood.
walking behind the little church there, it's Hold Me Closer. It's like, I'm like, let's go for like the emotional belty ones, because I'm like, those are hitting me this year. Not because I'm like, ooh, I get the emotion, but just because I'm like, yeah, these are really effective at what they do. They all do a really good job for me.
Very nice.
So yeah, this just really works for me, but I think it needs a couple of listens to get there. But she's cool. I really like her.
I do want to talk about the video.
Yes.
I love the fucking preppy vampire weekend boat and their outfits. She's on a boat with Timothy Chalamet.
No, he's not quite that type. I think he's a little...
Timothy Greek-Lemay.
He's got a little bit more meat.
He's a little meatier, that's true. But, a Timothy Chalamet type.
A heartthrob.
A heartthrob. In the water, next to the most beautiful little Greek
I know, it's so
cliffside
good.
town. They live together on top of this cliff, and there's this gorgeous little mountain path that she can just stand on and dramatically look down at him on the boat. It's so Wuthering Heights, exactly.
That's it. Also,
I love the video.
Also, all of that. It's just like the amount of like drama that feels very like teenager drama, where it's like, you can just break up, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, you should just break up, and it's not going to be the end of your life or their life.
You're actually not gonna die.
Not at all. But it's like, it just captures the feeling of like, not realizing that for me so well, without having me go like, come on, just get over it. No, where I'm like, no, I
cringe.
can put myself there, even though like it's such a dark place to go or whatever. But like that's music. It
That's
doesn't
fun
have,
sometimes.
It doesn't have to be like good and normal. You can have unhealthy thoughts, and you can sing them, and like it can be great, and it is. Like I'm just like, yes, have unhealthy thoughts. Like,
Except your
like hold me closer. Also is like, is it like, you know, a little bit of resentment, but it's kind of healthy, but it's just about like that fucking messy moment and stupid fucking feeling of like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do about this? And it's just that is really resonating, and not because I feel that way, because I love you very much, and this relationship is great.
We have a good time together.
No breakup songs for us.
Well, I would like to hear one breakup song.
Oh, Knowing Me, Knowing You.
Knowing Me, Knowing You. Uh-huh.
All right. Well, we've got ourselves. Well, you know, I think actually we've been doing some pretty bleak, downbeat songs. Why don't we cheer it all up? Why don't we lighten the mood?
Well, yeah, the kids need to lighten up a little, so let's lighten up.
Let's get a really lightened up kid. What?
What?
Let's go Ireland.
Oh, have we not been to Ireland yet?
No.
Ooh, now that's exciting.
Let's get out of the gloom and doom and step into the sun. Light. Remember that?
I am always interested in what Ireland brings. Like, I think there was the one that was number 22. Like, Take Me to Your House, number 22.
I almost forgot about 22.
Yeah, everyone did. But even that was... Ireland always brings something fun to think and talk about.
Yes.
So please tell me it's Jedward. It's not. I follow them on Twitter, and they haven't twote about it, so it's not
a tweet.
Not as nary a tweet to be seen.
Alas.
So I know it's not them, but I have to hope.
No, Ireland's representative is Brooke.
Brooke.
Now we've had a river, and now we've got a brook.
Very good.
And her song is called "That's Rich."
Oh, I'm already loving that.
Yeah, and she won their little ramshackle national selection with this one. It was shit.
What's it now?
It wasn't very good. Not necessarily because of the song quality, which was like, you know,
here and there,
but it's like, you know, you've got your national final in a country that doesn't really care enough about it and is still clinging on to the fact that they won 7 times, like, over 20 years ago.
Win again,
but if you want to do that, you gotta put some effort into it. It's just that they had, like, judges there who were being positive about every song, and I'm like, first of all, don't have judges there, but if you do, at least have them be mean.
So true, bestie.
Don't have them, like, praise every song.
That's also kind of why I don't like Belgian, like, Flemish music contests. Because you have judges who are mean, but try very hard not to sound mean.
Sure, yeah.
And they're like snarky to each other, but they always feel like they have to soften the landing a little bit. And it just gets really annoying. Just give criticism, just be kind of mean, or don't have judges.
And yet it's obviously a staple of, like, you know, reality TV and competitions to have judges.
I say don't
Eurovision has their, like, you know, unseen judges, the jury for each country.
Yes.
Is people we know, but, like, it's not like they show those people on the telecast, because why would they? But, you know, something like American Song Contest, where they have done the same, like, jury principle of Eurovision, of like, yeah, these are jurors that you don't see. It's like, well, you can't really do that with a televised show that you're showing for the first time, because people will be like, who the fuck are these nebulous jurors giving points? Where the hell are they? Who are these people? We want to see, I don't know, some
Simon Cowell.
Yeah,
nobody wants to see.
We want to see some guy who has an opinion.
I do say, like, oh, just be mean. But don't. But don't. These are real people with feelings, but...
Yeah. Well, that's rich when it's coming from you.
They're not listening to this podcast.
Anyway.
I can say it behind their backs, because then they don't hear it. Talking behind someone's back is fine because they don't hear it. Like, I talk behind people's back all the time, and, like, it's fine.
Let's give a listen to Ireland's song for this year's Eurovision Song Contest. This is Brooke, and That's Rich.
Hey, stupid, that's rich. When it's coming from you, and that's rich. Well, I got nothing to prove. That's rich. You think I dressed up for you, and that's rich. Bye bye fool. Bye bye fool. Bye bye fool.
First part of the song, I thought, oh, this is fun. This is like a fun, upbeat pop song. The second she ended the first verse and went into the second chorus, I was so bored. Instantly. Instantly, like, oh, just this again? Nah. And then she did the sassy talking section, and my ears dissolved.
Aww.
It sounded bad.
But I love Kesha.
I also love Kesha. This isn't Kesha.
No, but it's like, it made me go like, oh, I know Kesha.
Yeah.
When she does a little bridge, I'm like, oh, I know what Kesha is. I will say, I hadn't, the song's called That's Rich, but the money sure didn't go to the music video.
Yeah, it's...
Shot this one on a shoestring budget.
Yeah, that's not real money that she's dancing in.
I mean, and if it were, then that's where the money for the video went. Because it's just her in front of a screen dancing in 3 outfits with the, your bisexual lighting. And it's like,
This may have as well have just been a TikTok.
Yeah, you could have just made it a lyric video. Maybe just had no images, because I think it's another one where like, that makes it worse.
Yeah, I do get very bored of just a girl dancing in front of camera.
Yeah, and that's all there is.
This is also why I never really got how TikTok got so popular off of girl dancing in front of camera. Like, obviously now people are doing more with the medium, but it was mostly like just dancing videos.
Yeah. A lot of it was just like, people dancing.
I think I've talked before on the podcast about me just not really getting the appeal of dancing as an art form unaccompanied by anything else.
You may have.
I don't know.
I don't remember where we land on that one.
This is not an opinion of mine. I'm not saying dancing sucks. I'm just saying dancing isn't for me.
It's just like when you're looking at this music video, it's like, well, that's all that I'm being shown here. And granted, this is just like, we made a music video so that we have a music video. And in the grand scheme of things, the music video doesn't matter when it comes to the Eurovision performance. It's the performance there. Who cares what you did in your music video? The song itself, I don't hate. I've listened to it a couple times, but like only really when I'm listening to the whole playlist, It's
just quite boring.
It's not bad. It's just a little like, this isn't... I don't know exactly what it's doing that's supposed to like grab me, but it's, she's supposed to be kind of sassy and like telling her ex-boyfriend that he is a fool.
Yep. That's what songs are about.
Yes, but like, is there anything else that like disses an ex this year?
Not
in that sense,
really.
It's like, okay, we got that one. Stands out for that reason.
Check that box.
Yeah.
Wow. This really is a nothing song. We have nothing to say about it.
It feels bad because this one's also been around for a while in that I'm like, I don't know what I really have to add to the conversation here. I don't know what I have to say. And I say conversation as if there is of talking about this. I will say that Brooke apparently has been in a couple of scuffles.
Scuffles?
I think she lost her passport when she went to the pre-party in Spain, so that was troubling.
So much like the Intelligent Music Project, she wasn't allowed in Spain.
It was just a bit of a problem. And then later on, she performed in, I believe it was a gay club in Dublin that was Russia themed.
Oh.
Which, you know, is just a club called Kremlin or whatever, and it's like, that's kind of tacky, but, like, you know, they didn't come up with that now. There was just, like, a poster of it that just said her name and a lot of, like, Cyrillic letters, and some people were like, what the fuck is going on here? Until people were like, oh, this is a club. They were like, maybe bad taste.
It's like you don't want the club to close down because of this, but maybe a
Eurovision
temporary...
21 representatives, the Roop, also saw that and were quite offended by it, so called her out publicly.
God, getting called out by the Roop is so funny.
But then they realized that it was a little bit of a misunderstanding and she wasn't actually performing like
at the Kremlin.
At the Kremlin. So
give Putin a laugh.
Just a funny little
getting mistakenly called out by the Roop. Mwah. Perfect.
I feel like, you know, that is just sort of what would happen to, like, the main character in, like, a Eurovision show where it's like they don't have the most competitive song, but they're, like, a funny girl and they keep getting into situations.
Oh no! I got called out by the Roop!
It just already feels like 2 episodes of sitcom to me.
Feels more like a Disney show.
Right, yeah.
Oh, this is the kind of song that, like, a Hannah Montana type character would sing on because it's like, oh, she's kind of rude and sassy, but then the song
Wizards
doesn't
of
do
Waverly
anything
Place.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. iCarly?
I don't know. I never watched the Disney shows.
Wizards of Waverly Place was pretty good.
I genuinely never watched them. They weren't cartoons, so I was not interested.
That's true. I once was an extra on a Disney show.
What?
For, like, the Belgian/Dutch Disney Channel, they also had, like, a little band who were on tour. I think that was the name of the show. So they extras me as a rival band member in, like, a very lame...
I did know this.
A lame band, and I have, like, split-second appearance as just an awful-looking man.
I remember you telling me about this, and I completely forgot.
But yes, just another Disney Channel show about, like, you know, a traveling band that gets into hijinks, and it just, like, Brooke feels like she would be the protagonist of a Disney show, which, you know, I like, but it's like, yeah, this is not for me. This is skewing a lot younger, and in that sense, I do feel a little bit of affection for it, because it's another one where I'm like, it's like...
it's for the kids!
You know, our first steps into, like, being assertive and, like, saying what she thinks. And it's like, okay, she's not afraid to say it like she means it. I do think the lyrics shouldn't be bye-bye fool, but should be bye-bye boo. I think that would be way better.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's just me. If you don't have the lyrics on screen, you are free to interpret it as such and hear it, which I did until I saw the lyrics and was like, fool? No, because obviously the joke should be...
He used to be her boo.
First of all, he used to be her boo, but also the song is called That's Rich, so the response is, bye, bitch.
Ah.
So instead of saying bitch, you say boo. You know, like...
I was saying boo-earns.
Yeah. Like, it's like there's some potential there to play with expectations that it just doesn't really do.
And it's also, you can then make boo into boo-hoo, and he's saying boo-hoo.
Yeah, because he cries for hours when she burns his flowers.
It should be boo, you're right.
It should be boo.
This song sucks.
There's just a lot of jokes here where I'm like, no, you could have made it, like, funnier, because this is supposed to be, like... This is supposed to be funny.
Too bad.
Like, certainly in the video, she doesn't seem quite charismatic enough to sell it. But, you know, she's nice from all I've seen.
I just hope she has a good time.
I do hope she has a good time. I really do hope she has a good time.
I hope she found her passport.
I think she did.
Okay, good.
I wasn't really following those antics all too much.
I
Because I didn't want to get spoiled for the new season of Brooke. Maybe the show's called That's Rich.
No, I don't think
That's Rich feels like it would be like 5-minute, like really short episodes, you know?
Oh, like webisodes?
Yeah, That's Rich feels like it would be webisodes if it's called That's Rich. If anyone's listening, I am going to put that idea in with I'm going to copyright that. I'm going to send that to my.
Aren't you? Wait, I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it. But aren't you in another Disney property now?
Oh, I'm in Better Nate Than Ever. You're right.
Yeah, you're in Better Nate Than Ever. You're in the
yes,
Flemish dub.
I'm in the Flemish dub of Better Nate Than Ever. Yeah. I have 1 or 2 lines in it. I don't know. I guess that's my plug for this episode. Go watch Better Nate Than Ever. It stars Lisa Kudrow.
Right, it does.
From what I saw of it, there's some pretty funny jokes. Better Nate Than Ever on Disney Plus. If you happen to find the Flemish dub, there's one scene with a house party, and a nerd runs up to a character. That's me.
You play the nerd.
I play a nerd. No spoilers. No more spoilers. I can't spoil the movie.
Someone's gonna clip this and put it on Twitter.
Yeah, Disney's gonna sue me for talking. It's out, so you can go see it right now. But other than that, what do we have to plug?
Well, there's our Ko-fi page, ko-fi.com.
Good so far.
/Eurovision Division.
Seems right to me.
Yes. That's where we have a little bonus episode where we talk about our journey with the 1001 Albums generator. It is behind a paywall because all of the money coming from it is going to go to Ukrainian refugee relief. Go listen to that if you like us.
Other than that, the new season of The Great British Sewing Bee has started.
Oh my god, we're gonna watch that right now. I've been thinking about that for the last half hour.
Heartily recommend. New season of Barry has started. If you haven't seen Barry yet, HBO's Barry starring Bill Hader. Very much recommend.
So good. Also, the new season of Better Call Saul, the last season.
I still haven't seen the rest of the show, but
it's insanely good. It's so good.
Pretty good. It seems pretty good to me. So yeah, it's a.
Those are the shows we're watching.
It's a good time, good shows. Tis the season, and only a few weeks from now, it's gonna be Eurovision time. So we'll leave you here, but do join us next time, because we'll be listening to more songs from this year's Eurovision Song Contest, and giving our sassy little opinions.
Oh, we're so sassy. Just like Brooke.
Good night, Europe.
Good night, Europe.
Bye-bye, boo.
Bye-bye, boo.